this is the first set where it's of a dosa center which was established in 1989, which is what is given in the billboard. So the billboard says this dosa center is started by this person named Musa, and it is started since 1989. The price is 32 rupees for one dosa. What another information is given is this person started selling at $2, 2 rupees a dosa, and he increased the price by 1 rupee every year. So 32 from 32 rupees, which was started currently in the current year, it is 32 rupees, out of which he started at 2 rupees, and then 1 plus 1, and every year 1 rupee was increased. What it means is, when he would have started, if it was 2 rupees, the number of years that would have passed by since the current time, since 1989 would be how many? Can anybody suggest? 32 minus 2 will give you the number of years that have passed since 1989. Is that correct? You understand why I wrote this? Hello? Okay, I'm repeating it. So this person, Musa, he started the dosa center in 1989, and then in the current time, the dosa sells at 32 rupees. Now, if it's suggested that the dosa, when he started selling dosa, he started at $2 a dosa, and then every year he was increasing the price by 1. So when the starting price was 2 rupees, then in the second year he increased by 1, which means 3 rupees. Uske baad it became 4, it became 5 the next year. Likewise, it in the current time, in the current year, it is 32 rupees. So what it means is 32 minus the first price, which was 2 rupees, will give me the number of years that have passed in 1989, because every year he was increasing 1 rupee. So that's where, since 1989, 30 years have passed down the line, when the current price is 32 rupees. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. Then at that point in time, in 1989, and there is another condition which is given. This person's age was 6 times that of Lisa. So Musa's age in 1989 was 6 times that of Lisa's age. This is another condition which we'll keep aside for a while. Lisa grew up to be a successful lawyer, and on Musa's 60th birthday, which means the current age of Musa is MC, which I'm writing is 60 years. She gifted him this banner. That's what is given. In which year will Lisa celebrate her 60th birthday? This is what we have to find. Now, current age of Musa is 60. And we know that 30 years have passed since 1989, where the current price of dosa is 32. So, in 1989, can any of you suggest what will be the age of Musa? In 1989, I'm saying. If 30 years have passed and current age of Musa is 60, then Musa ka age 1989 mein kitna hoga? From 1930. 30. Why? Because from 1989, it's 30 years. and current age of Musa is 60. So 60 minus 30 is 30 years at that point in time. So 30 years is the age of Musa in 1989, and we know that we know from this equation Musa's age, which is 30 years, is 6 times that of Lisa in 1989. So Lisa का age कितना होगा?
5.
5 years. Great. We know Lisa का age in 1989 was 5 years. What we have to find is 60th birthday पे कौन सा साल होगा? So from 5 years, so 60th birthday would be 55 years from 1989. Is that correct? Agar Lisa in 1989 is 5 years old, from that another 55 years she will become 60 years old. Is that correct?
Yes.
Correct. मतलब अगर 1989 में 5 साल की है तो उससे 55 years plus she will be 60 years. So 1989 plus 55 is how much? Can anybody tell me?
2044.
2044. That's correct. So in the year of 2044, Lisa will be 60 years old and she will be celebrating her 60th birthday. ये समझ में आया?
Yes, ma'am.
Somebody is chatting. Just 1 second.
Ma'am?
Huh?
Ma'am, how come 55 years?
How do we get 55 years? That's what you're asking?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So in 1989, Lisa was 5 years old. बराबर?
Yes.
अभी हमको क्या ढूंढना है कि 60th birthday पे कौन सा साल होगा? So for her to reach 60th birthday, where in this year 1989 she is 5 years old, so 60 minus 5 is 55. So the difference is 55 between 60th birthday and current and the 5-year-old child. So 55 वहां से आया.
Okay.
Okay. कोई डाउट है इसमें किसी को? थोड़ा it's little bit tricky, but it's yeah, ये just थोड़ा figure out करने में थोड़ा tricky है, but yeah, it's fairly there. कुछ डाउट है इसमें किसी को? Any questions? Yeah, I can repeat it. I'm fine. All right, ठीक है. We'll move ahead then. Just 1 second. 1 second. There's some problem. 1 second. Just. All right. It's visible right now. So this is the next question where a beat policeman, you can see the screen, right, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here you're given a map and there are these junctures, blue colored points, which are marked here. It's these dots which are marked. They are intersections and they have traffic light signals there, which are the blue dots which are marked here. in this map, there's a police woman who's starting from the signal P1. P1 is here. This is P1. So this police woman starts her signal from P1. She heeds this woman. She heeds west and takes the second right. From this juncture, can anybody suggest west is towards M2 or M1? West is towards M2 or M1. Can anybody suggest?
M2.
M2. Very good. So from P1, she heads towards M2 and takes second right. यहाँ से जाके second right she heads towards the west, which is towards M2, and from there on the way she takes the second right. So the second right happens where? In between या फिर M2 पे second right आएगा? कहाँ पे आएगा second right?
M2 पे.
At M2, exactly. This is the first right towards Q1 is the first right. This is 1 and this is the second right. From here, she takes the right and then we take this route if she takes the right. Thereafter, she continues her journey taking, so we have taken the second right, then she takes the second left. She continues the journey and then she takes the second left. मतलब यहाँ से आके she will take the second left, which is this. Is that correct? From the second left, she takes another second left. From here, she takes, this is the first left and this is the second left. यहाँ से she takes another left. From the second left, she takes the third right. She goes down, first right, second right, and third right. This is the third right. So right is towards M2 or O1. Can anybody tell me?
M2.
M2 पे right आएगा या M2 पे left आएगा?
O1.
O1. It's
हाँ,
O1.
yes.
M2 is left. O1 is the third right. From there she takes the third right here. Then again she takes a third right. For this O1 is for O1 is, this is the first right. This is the second right, and then this is the third right. And after that, she goes and ends her beat walk at the next signal. From this, she goes and ends her beat walk at the first signal. I mean, the next signal which comes immediately, which means at R3, she stops. At R3 is the juncture where she stops. In the given map, some of the intersection that we have already chosen. Now you have to choose which are the options, is or R2, which means one or more option is correct. So we have drawn this path. First one. Is it correct or not? Policeman visits the signal
No.
M6 twice. It's not correct. She doesn't go to M6 at all, in fact. B. She passes signals M6, P2 and R2. Wrong by default क्योंकि A गलत है तो B भी गलत होगा. क्योंकि M6 पे this lady is not moving at all. C. She visits R4 before R2. Is it correct? Is it true?
Yes.
Yes, that's true. And D. She ends her beat walk at R3.
True.
Yes, correct.
So even that is correct. So C and D are the only correct one in this case. Is that clear? Doubts? Clear है ये? Okay, ठीक.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, how to do that? How to do this steps in pages? Like, it will be a bit confusing.
Yeah. So what do you do is in pages, you have to actually start drawing the map itself. ये जो red line बनाया ना मैंने, वो रेड लाइन आपको अपने बुक में बनाना पड़ेगा. जो भी सिग्नल्स आ रहे हैं उसमें वो सारे सिग्नल्स यू हैव टू राइट. So from P1, if I'm moving to M2 and then I pass through N1 and R1, you have to write those points. Okay,
Okay, okay.
which are the points which are coming in between when
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
doing on the sheet. So you don't have to draw the whole map, but you just have to draw the path which you take and which signals come in the path. बस इतना ही करो करने का.
Ma'am, but if the map is given, then we can lightly even trace on the map also. Na?
That is also possible. Like you can put the sheet on, like you can put your sheet on the computer which is there. कंप्यूटर के ऊपर वो शीट रख के यू कैन ड्रॉ इट, बट उसमें भी आपको पॉइंट लिखना पड़ेगा. वो शीट को ट्रेस करोगे तो भी यू हैव टू राइट द पॉइंट्स, अदरवाइज मिस्टेक हो सकता है उसमें.
Ma'am, but in exam means exam it will be sheet only. Na?
No, it will be on screen.
Okay.
ओनली जो ड्राइंग पार्ट है उसके लिए शीट मिलेगा, ये ऑन स्क्रीन पे होगा आपके. So what you have to do is either you put a paper on the screen और उसके ऊपर ट्रेस करके लिख दो, या फिर जो अपना डायरी है उसमें you have to sketch the route and mark which points are coming in between. तो हो जाएगा easily. Okay. All right. Chalo. We'll move to the next one now. So there is a Venn diagram relationship which is shown here. And you have to find which of the following relationships represent this Venn diagram. Let's take the first one, snack, food, and dosa. Does it or does it not follow this Venn diagram? Snack, food, and dosa. Or else you can try solving. It's fairly simple. आप एक बार try करो इसको solve करने का. Which of these relationships? Well, it's given plural, which means one or more options are possible here. So remember that and keep that in your mind. In this question, one or more options are possible. It's not just one answer. Neil, please check your answer. Navya, please check your answer. Ananya, Patel, Vanshika, your answers are correct. Dev, please check your answer. Shaivi, please check your answer is wrong. Ritika, your answer is wrong. Parth, your answer is wrong. Panth, your answer is correct. Vanshika, your answer is correct. Ananya, just Ananya, your answer is correct. Shaivi, your answer is wrong. Ritika, your answer is wrong. 12D Krish, your answer is correct. Neil, your answer is wrong. So in this case, let's just try making a Venn diagram for each. For the first one, option A, the Venn diagram, just write it here. For the A option, this is the kind of Venn diagram which will follow. Because why will this come is food is a larger category. There are other types of foods also. There are other kinds of foods which are not snack also. The snack is the middle one, जिसमें food का subset होता है, and dosa is one of the snack. which is also a food and which is also a snack. In the second one, there are females, then there are doctors who are females, and then there are doctors who are not females. There are females, then there are mothers, and then there are doctors who will be mother and who would be mother and who might be female also and might be male also, or might be other gender also. So that's where option B is the one which fits in here. So I will say, okay, option B is correct.
Ma'am, I can't understand.
You can't understand? Okay. See, the first one, the first circle which I have drawn here, ये समझ में आया था ये first वाला या नहीं समझ आया ये वाला?
Yes, that I
got. Okay. Here, the first circle which I drew is the whole, every female who is there, every kind of female with every profession, anybody. Within the female, there might be few females who might be mothers. So the smaller circle in the larger circle, female, are those of mothers. There might be other single women. There might be other married women who are not mothers also, who come outside that domain. Then there is a specific profession of a doctor where there might be some female who are mothers and who are also doctors together, which comes here. There might be some female who are not mothers but are doctors, which can come here. This is for doctors team. And there might be some female who are, or there might be some male or some other gender category who might be doctors, which might come in the outside circle here. So that's where this diagram is very similar to what is shown here, and that's where option B will be correct. Abhi samajh mein aaya?
Yes, ma'am, means there are mothers who might be doctors and there are other females except mothers also who are doctors. That's okay.
Okay. Now for the next option, C. Let's test option C. Even option C falls in this. I will tell you how it falls. On option C, it's similar. What we did there? Parrot, pet, and bird. So parrot is a bird. Parrot, okay, so this is the bird, all birds which are there. Parrot is one of the bird. There are no parrots which are not birds, so clearly parrot is one of the birds which are there. And this last one is pets. I'll just write pet here, so P-E-T. Pets. Parrot is one of the category of pets. There are other birds. Parrot is one category of pets. There are other birds which are pets also. And there are other, outside the category of bird, there are other animals which are treated as birds also, like dogs, cats, crocodiles also in many cultures, lions, tigers, all those things. Even they are treated as pets, so which falls in this category. That's where this again looks similar to what is seen here, and that's where option C will be correct. The next one. Designer, teacher, painter, and designer, teacher, painter, sorry. So for the designer, teacher, painter thing, let's see if it falls here or not. I'll just draw another one because it's a very different kind of thing. So there are designers. Some designers might be painters. Some painters. So some, one second. So there are designers, there are painters, and then there are teachers. So some designers will be painters where they both intersect each other. Some painters can also be teachers, which they intersect each other. And then some designers can also be teachers, which come here. And then their intersection is somewhere where there is a third category, which may evolve, that a person can be a designer, can be a painter, and can also be a teacher. Outside this, there might be people who are just designers, like of different materials. There might be just painters who might not be a designer. There might be teachers who are outside these two domains also. So that's where the option D doesn't come into this kind of category, which is seen here. Clear hua? All these three domains which are given, they are very different from each other. A designer and a teacher can be one category. A designer painter can be one category. A painter teacher can be one category, and a painter designer can be one category. All these are different categories. There might be few group of people who might be doing all these three. There might be few group of people who might be doing just one of this, who might be just a designer, who might be just a painter, who might be just a teacher. So that's where this kind of a Venn diagram would follow for the third category. Is that clear? Doubts? Okay, we'll move ahead then. So in this case, option B and C will follow thus. What is given here is, if you're starting from a circle and you're ending at a triangle, what is the minimum straight lines you're required to pass through all the dots without tracing any route? And you are allowed to pass through a dot more than once. You can pass through a dot more than once, but you are not allowed to trace the route. By following these two conditions, how many lines, how many straight lines minimum, how many minimum number of straight lines can you are required to draw to pass through all the dots? You want to give it this a try once? Take 5 minutes and try solving this. It's very simple. You might have done this like very earlier on in small puzzles. This is a very repetitive puzzle, which is very normal, and it's seen in many, has been seen in many newspapers also, many times. So just try solving this once. No, Ananya Patel, your answer is wrong. Vanshika, wrong answer. Tanisha, wrong answer. Ria, wrong answer. Through this, Ria, wrong answer. Neil, okay. Neil, I'll tell you how 3. Just let me know how 3 came first.
Start from the circle and end at the triangle, 2 dots.
Start from the circle and end at the triangle, but then what about the dots which are there in between? You have to go through all the dots which are there. You cannot take 1, 2, 3, and 4 likewise. It's not possible. Okay, wrong answers. It's actually quite simple. Okay, Ananya. Okay, did you solve the 6 or 7? Not sure, Ananya. Okay, you solved it. Okay. So is it 6 or is it 7 then? Seven. Or okay, none now. There are no wrong answer. Okay, chalo. The correct answer, I think Ananya was trying to do that. It was 6. I'll just tell you how. 1, 2, 3. I mean, it just go down further, but wherever the point meets, what I'm looking for is a diagonal like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, somewhere there, and then 6. So will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total number and correct answer is 6. Clear?
That means we can go out of the dots. We can
Yeah.
go.
It's not, the condition is not given, no? कि आप नहीं जा सकते. ऐसा कोई condition नहीं है. See, you have to always make use of this kind of opportunity. What is not mentioned? We can go out of the box. ऐसा कोई condition नहीं दिया कि you have to stick within some kind of boundary which is given to you. You can make use of space which is outside.
Okay, and ma'am, this all will be in MCQs only, na?
No, this you have to write. So you have to write basically here 6. आपको options नहीं दिया जाएगा.
Oh.
Okay. This and even there are maths questions also. जो calculation वाले हैं उसमें भी आपको लिखना होता है. So in that also you won't be given options. Okay.
Okay.
ठीक है, चलो. We'll move ahead then. Ananya, this was the pattern which you drew, or was it a different pattern?
Ma'am, it was a little bit different, and ma'am, the answer was coming 7, but ma'am, I took 1 or 2 extra lines, so ma'am, I knew that the answer must be 6, but it was mine was a little bit different, ma'am.
You want to draw it here? So we can also look at that one.
Ma'am, I can try.
Yeah, try drawing it here. So we can also look at a different pattern in that case. You're able to draw, Ananya? Okay, you're drawing. Okay.
Ma'am, I actually forgot how I did it. Ma'am, I took a screenshot and I was drawing and ma'am, I will send it to you.
No problem, no problem. Just send
Yes,
it.
ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Send it to Pratik. Okay. Yeah. Another question. It is more. This is more very much. I won't say trial and error based questions. There is definite a way of finding an answer, but we can very well solve this question by trial and error. It's much easier also. So you're given a basket which has apples and oranges. Just type down all the conditions first. So there is a basket which has apple plus oranges. Now what is given is the maximum number of fruits that the basket can accommodate is 50. And if you look at the last condition, what it says is if there are more than 40 fruits in the basket, which what is the total number of apples and oranges? So what it means is that the total number of fruits in the baskets is between 40 and so X, if I'm assuming, or I'll just say apples plus oranges, A plus O, is between 40 and 50. This is clear. Total number of fruits, which is apple and oranges in the basket, is between 40 and 50. This is one condition which is given to you. Another condition which is given is some of the fruits are rotten and some are good. The number of rotten apples is twice the number of good apples. I'll just write that also. So I will say RA or RA, which is rotten apple, or AR. Yeah, AR. A and small r. Rotten apples is twice the number of AG. Apples which are good. AR plus 2AG is equal to, AR plus 2AG is the one other condition. What it means is if the total apples which are there, which comprises of apples which are rotten, AR plus apples which are good, it should be equal to 2AG plus AG. Is this correct? Can I write this like this? ये equation को by replacing this value, AR rotten apples is twice the number of good apples. So if this from this condition, can I write this equation of total number of apples as 2AG plus 2AG by replacing total rotten apples with 2AG? Can I write this equation?
Yes, ma'am.
So what it means is 3 times good apples is equal to total number of apples. ये समझ में आ गया आपको? 3 times good apples. This is a very important condition. I'll tell you why it is an important condition. The next condition for oranges. Oranges, the total number of good oranges, AOG, which are good oranges, is twice the number of rotten oranges. So twice the number of oranges which are rotten. This is another condition which is given. Similarly, can I write this condition from like O, which are oranges which are rotten. Total oranges is equal to oranges which are rotten plus oranges which are good, which will be equal to oranges which are rotten plus twice oranges which are rotten. Can I write this equation like this? ये बराबर लिखा है. Is can I replace oranges which are good from this equation in this equation? Twice the oranges which are rotten, oranges which are good is equal to that. So the total number of oranges which would be 3 times the oranges which are good. Can I write this equation like this?
Yes.
Correct. Now, the last condition which is given. Number of oranges is thrice the number of apples. Number of oranges is thrice the number of apples. ये तीसरा condition दिया है. बराबर? Now, we know 40A plus O total number of fruits is between 40 and 30. Another condition, oranges is thrice the number of apples. What it means is O plus A, which is the total number of fruit, F in the basket is equal to orange plus apple. This should be equal to O, we replace with in this equation 3A plus A, which will be equal to 3 times apple, 4 times apple. So total number of fruits is equal to 4 times apple. ये समझ में आया? This is a very important condition. I'll say 3. This is 1. Okay. And then this is condition 2. So from the first, now total number of fruit is also equal to A plus O, which will be equal to, if I replace the 1 or 2 conditions देख रहे हो ना आप, A is also equal to 3 times good apples. 3 times good apples plus orange O from the second equation is equal to 3 times oranges which are rotten. What it yields is 3 is a common thing and AG plus OR. And then another condition what is given is it 4 ka condition. So 3 into AG plus OR. ये clear है सबको? Now this is condition 4. From the condition 3 and 4, what we can gauge is the total number of fruits will be multiple of 4, and it also has to be a multiple of 3. Is that correct? The total number of fruits has to be a multiple of 4 and it has to be a multiple of 3. From the condition 3 and 4, F is multiple of 3 and 4. Is that correct? Can I say that? From
Yes.
the, yes. Now, F which is A plus O lies between what? I'll just rewrite this again. F which is A plus O lies between 40 and 50. 40 or 50 में multiple of 4 कौन से है? Which are the multiples of 4 between 40 and 50? So 40 and 50 you cannot
44
count.
and 48.
So ma'am, we can directly see the multiples of 12. So 48.
Yeah, so 48 directly there. 44, if we want to go one by one, so first you count by 4 का multiple कौन सा है, which is 44 and 48. So multiple of 4 is, m of 4 is 44 and 48. Out of both of these, 48 is the only one which is multiple of 3 also. And thus, total number of fruits will be equal to 48. समझ में आया ये आपको? How did I solve it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Doubts है किसी को इसमें अभी? Any doubts? Any confusion anybody has?
No, ma'am. But ma'am, I guess there could be a simpler method.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but ma'am, like instead of introducing multiples, we can like ma'am, total number of fruits is 4a, right? So ma'am, instead of a, we can replace the value of a as 3 good apples, and then ma'am,
That's
it will
12. That's 12. Yeah, so 12 good apples. Yeah.
Ma'am, 12 good apples is equals to between 40 to 58, and then ma'am, if we divide between 40 to 50, only there is only one number which will give an integer, full integer.
Yes. Yes, that's correct. That is a simpler method. That is also another method. If for a को आप 3ag जो यहाँ पे आ रहा है उसे replace कर दो, which will give you 12 ag here directly in option 3. What it means is total number of fruits is a multiple of 12. Has to be a multiple of 12. And thus, you directly arrive at, in between 40 and 50, there is only one multiple of 12, which is 48. And thus 48. That's a good solution. That's also much easier.
Means, ma'am, we have to see the multiple which comes between 40 and 50, like which is only 48.
Which is only 48. एक ही है number. और कोई name
Like
number नहीं है.
12 AG.
हाँ 12 AG
Yes,
आया
हाँ.
यहाँ पे. So you just find कि 12 का multiple 40 और 50 में कौन सा है? एक ही आएगा 48. Either 12 का multiple is 36, फिर 48 आता है और उसके बाद 60 आता है सीधा. So 40 और 50 के बीच में तो 48 ही आएगा, which means you will find the total number of fruits, which is 48. Total number of apples and oranges. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here you're given this diagram where there's a triangle and there are 3 circles. And there is a part which is colored red in between. What you have to find is, you have to find the area of the red colored part. You have to find the area of the red colored part here. How do we do this?
Ma'am, we can draw an equilateral triangle like ma'am this in between.
The drawing?
And then
Just draw. Yeah, good.
and,
Yes.
and then ma'am, from the method of the sector, from finding the sector,
Yes.
ma'am, we can find out the sector of and then area
of the equilateral triangle.
and area of sector, and then ma'am, we can just subtract it.
Yes, that's the correct one. Very good. What we have to do is, I don't know who said that. Can anybody tell me who said that?
I'm Ananya.
Ananya, good. So like Ananya said, what you have to do is, when you connect all the centers of the circle, what you get is an equilateral triangle in the middle, where the angle between the radiuses is 60 degrees. This is 60, this is also 60, and this is also 60. You know that radius is 10, which makes the side of the equilateral triangle to be total 20, which is the diameter. So each of the radius is 10, which means each of the side of the triangle is 20. Then what you have to do is, now to find the area of the red part, which is weirdly shaped triangle, you first find the area of this equilateral triangle, which is √3/4 side square. The area of the equilateral triangle is √3/4 the side square. You find the area of the equilateral triangle, which is this. Then you find the area of one sector of a circle with 60-degree angle, with using the equation pi r square theta upon 360. Pi r square theta upon 360 will give you area of one sector. You have 3 sectors in that triangle. That's where you multiply that area into 3. You subtract the total from the total from this total area of the equilateral triangle. You subtract the area of the 3 sectors, and thus we will find the area of the red colored part. समझ में आया? So area of equilateral triangle, EQIIS is right here, is equal to square root of 3, 1.71 something, divided by 4, the whole thing, multiplied by side square, which is 20 square, 400 upon 4, which will be equal to how much? 171 point something. What is the square root? What is the large? 3 का square root का कितना होता है? So 173, sorry. 173.2. From there, area of a sector. Area of sector is equal to, one sector we are talking about here, is equal to pi, which is 3.14, multiplied by pi r square theta. Pi r is 10/100 into theta is 60 upon 360. Can you tell me what will come here?
5.23, 15.23. Ma'am, the area of each sector.
52 point something.
Ma'am, if we will divide it by multiply it by 3, ma'am, there will be no denominator and everything will be cut. So, ma'am, direct answer of all 3 sectors will come 157.
Right. If you multiply it by 3, then. So area of that 3 sectors, so 3 into this, this will be equal to 157. Thus, area of red part is equal to 173.2 minus 157 should be equal to how much? (16.2 centimeters square). Just don't forget to write the units. Here it's written square centimeters, so just write that much. So this is the area. which we get at the end, 16.2 square centimeters. This is clear. Anything, whatever is asked, break it down into the geometry. The trickiest part is to break it up into the simplest form that you can easily calculate in any kind of questions. I mean, specifically this kind of geometry based things. Okay. Uske baad, it's just a matter of finding the different parts ka area plus. Any doubts anybody has?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Let's just do this another time. This is an area-based question. I just don't want to, not even this. Yeah, let's do this. This is a different kind of questions. Actually, I don't know if you have solved this kind of question earlier. So here, there are these 8 colleagues and their names are given. And they have divided the land into 8 equal plots, and in between they have kept a garden which connects all the plots. What we are given is there is one guy named Parmar. So Parmar, I'll just write P-A-R, Parmar. Parmar takes as allotted plot 1, which you are given. Balram prefers a house on the west. So Balram is somewhere on the west side. So 1, 8 or 7, either of the house belongs to Balram. 1 is taken by Parmar, which means 8 or 7, either of them belongs to Balram. The last condition, if you see, is somewhere let's just not go to the last. Let's just go step by step. Patel chose to stay the farthest from Nadkarni's house. Patel chose to stay farthest. Can anybody tell me let me know which are the farthest numbers? Which are the numbers which are farthest from each other? In this case, which are the numbers which are farthest? 1, 3, 5. So
5,
1
7.
is, yeah. So 1 is farthest from 5 and 3 is farthest from 7. Okay, 1 is farthest from 5 and 3 is farthest from 7. They are paired up like that. Now there are these 2 persons named Patel and Nadkarnis who chose that they just want to be separated from each other and they want to stay the farthest. Also on another condition, it says that Nadkarni hails from northeast, and so he chose the plot on the northeast, which is given this one. So this person named Nadkarnis, he chose the plot on the northeast because he's from northeast, and that's why it says I will take the plot number 3. Nadkarni ke saaf, if Nadkarni has chosen this, which means this is Patel, P-A-T-E-L. Patel, this is Patel. Clearly because they are the farthest, because ek mein Parmar hai, so which means somebody else has to come here, either of them. Another condition, Munshi and Bhandari became neighbors of Nadkarni. So this is Munshi or Bhandari, either of them. This is also them, Munshi and Bhandari. This is the same people. 2 and 4, they are neighbors of Nadkarni, which means either of them, either 2 belongs to Munshi or 2 belongs to Bhandari, either of them. And Sethu Raman became a neighbor of Patel. Patel is here, and Sethu Raman, he became a neighbor of Patel. So either he comes here or he comes here. But what is given is somebody said he wants a house on the west, which means 8 wala ghar hai belongs to Balram, because he said because it's written that it's he prefers that house. Patel ka another neighbor is this number 6, which automatically gets allotted to Sethu Raman, S-E-T-H. I'll just write that much. and the person who is left is Das, D-A-S. So likewise, this is the kind of rough tentative allotment. What you have to say is which of the following conditions are true. From this, can you tell me if option A, Das stays in plot number 5, is it correct or is it not correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Correct.
True.
That's correct. Munshi could be a neighbor of Parmar. Munshi could be, it's written could be. Could be a correct. It's correct. There's a possibility. There's a possibility. What it means is Balram and Natkarni could be neighbors.
No.
No.
No, they are opposite. I mean, completely opposite. So not possible. Balram shares a wall with Bhandari. Balram shares a wall with Bhandari. No, they don't. So A and B are the only ones which are correct. Is that clear? It's maybe if when you're solving this question in the text, in the notebook which is given to you, you should actually make the diagram and start writing where who belongs. Otherwise,
Ma'am,
yes.
it's just a doubt that I had.
Yeah.
We said that 3 and 7 is the farthest without considering the other conditions that follow after. 2 and 6 will also be the farthest, and 4 and 8 will also be the farthest, no, to each other.
One second. Where is it? Yeah. Sorry, what were you saying? 2 and 3?
If we do not consider the following conditions, and before you asked us that which are the farthest points, so that way 2 will be farthest to 6, right? And 4 will be farthest to 0.8.
Yeah, but when
Yeah,
in a
following
circle,
conditions,
like in the square, the farthest points are not the
all the
sides but
diagonals?
the diagonals.
Okay.
So that's where the farthest points has to be either 1 and 5 or 3 and 7. And that's where both of them have to be stationed on 1 or 5 or 3 or 7. Because diagonals का distance ज़्यादा होता है ना sides के comparison. The hypotenuse is always of a bigger length than the vertical, right? In a square, the diagonal is always of a higher dimension than the side.
Okay.
So that's from that logic, the farthest has to be the diagonals.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Somebody else had also doubt. Ritika.
Ma'am, I asked.
Achha, you asked. Okay, sorry. Okay. Clear? Any doubts? Anybody has?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Chalo. We'll stop this session here then. I will see you all in the next.